Okay, so I'm back again with some more Trump news. Yeah, so my last video was about him calling his supporters idiots, just disrespecting them. But this is what he did the day before with his Coachella rally.
This isn't normal. Apparently the buses are no longer coming, or at least there used to be like 20 buses when we were being brought here, but now there's only like 3 buses operating.
I mean, Trump repeatedly does this though.
It's just chaos. Absolute chaos. All of us are stranded here. Everyone's stranded here.
God damn. This would be funny if there weren't so many elderly people here.
Something went wrong. Look at this.
There's chicks that are organizing this that are failing.
Once again, we are learning that Donald Trump has stranded his attendees at the recent event that he held. This one was the event at Coachella that he held on Saturday evening. The buses that brought people to the event, well, they were not organized to bring the people back from the event. So people were stranded throughout the night. You hear attendees on that video. There were people who were saying, this is criminal, what's going on? Now, Donald Trump has a repeated pattern of being unable to organize these campaign events to even facilitate the transport. You may recall back in October of 2020, we reported here on the Midas Touch Network how Donald Trump did that in a Omaha, Nebraska speech where people were left stranded in freezing weather.
So, I mean, if you're listening, this is nothing new with Trump. He has a long history of not providing ample transportation back from the venue. It's like Coachella, its parking lot is like 5-6 miles away from where their event field is. It's really kind of stupid that these people fall for this Trump nonsense, this Trump garbage. But
more on that in a bit.
No one cares.
Let me just show you some other
Trump
clips of the people
Trump
being stranded here who attended this disastrous Trump event in Coachella. Here is another angle of it. Let's play it.
Gas. They had no gas, they had tea. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, you can't imagine how many people are still. There's so many people.
Okay, so the very simple reason for them being stranded is that the fuel pump was empty. Where they store their gas was empty. Because this event is held in between the shipments of gas being delivered.
Stranded here. No way.
This is something that could have easily been avoided with planning.
No more buses are coming. No more. They just got noticed.
They end up having to go like an additional 30-40 minutes out the direction to go refill.
I didn't even know about this line.
Right.
No way. This is criminal.
I love these people in the bus. Because they're like, this is criminal.
I didn't even know about this line.
Yeah, that's the 4th or 5th line of people waiting for buses.
This comes from another individual who was there. You can see the people stranded. You can hear what this person has to say. Let's play it.
Guys, we came to the Trump rally, and this is the aftermath. So I don't know how long do we have to wait here before we can get to the bus and go back to our car. We waited like 7 hours to just get in the rally, and now it's time to go
7
back.
hours.
So hopefully we don't have to wait for that long to get in the bus, because our cars is back there at the parking, which is like 5-6 miles away. But it's blocked by police, so no one actually can leave.
5-6 miles away. I mean, I think it's just over 5 miles. So that's a very accurate description.
Now, a lot of these Trump attendees were making posts like this. Here's an individual by the name of Wesley Johnson who was chronicling his experience at this Coachella event. You see him right there in his various posts.
But I don't remember.
As the event was wrapping up, he says, "Thank you, at real Donald Trump. Make California great again." You see them in their MAGA hats right there. And by the way, you can see from just even the photo that they took that, look, there wasn't like nobody at this event, but Donald Trump was claiming there's 100,000 people there. I don't even think there was 5,000 people at this event, but nonetheless, a lot of them were stranded because of the poor organization of this. Here's what Wesley Johnson writes. He goes, "It's 10 p.m. Rally ended at 7 p.m. Thousands of people still stranded here, waiting for transit back to the parking lots. Something has gone horribly wrong. Someone needs to ask the Coachella mayor if he had anything to do with this." I want to blame the Coachella mayor right away. "Parking lot is a 2-hour walk. Countless elderly stranded here and can't walk anymore. No restroom facilities accessible anymore. Someone find out what happened here. This is not normal and feels nefarious and criminal. Hashtag Trump rally CA, hashtag Coachella."
Trump was supposed to order porta potties.
Charlie Kirk, Donald Trump, Tucker Carlson,
make sure that the buses had gas.
RSBN Network, because here he's trying to blame that this was somehow the mayor of Coachella's fault when it was Donald Trump. Does this repeatedly at his various events.
Yes.
But watch how the evening progresses with Wesley Johnson. He then writes, an hour or so later, "Was just told by a bystander that the sheriff said there's only one bus in rotation and turnaround time, each drop-off is 30 minutes. These poor people are going to be stranded here early into tomorrow morning. How did we go from 20 to 30 buses down to 1? This needs to be investigated." And he writes, "2 buses just drove by. Haven't seen any buses move for almost 2 hours. Someone please reach out to Sheriff Chad Bianco and President Trump to get to the bottom of this. I think something nefarious went down tonight, trying to spark a riot." Again, because they're so programmed to blame Democrats, deep state. It's Donald Trump. This is how he runs everything. Everything, his whole life. Why do you think he's gone bankrupt over and over again with all? He can't organize anything. He can't even organize travel back and forth. And this individual keeps on writing, "Everyone's stranded. This is horrible." And he tags at JD Vance. Yeah, JD Vance is going to help you. Then he goes, "All buses have just been called off. Bus driver just got notified by CHP to stop picking up attendees. What the hell is going on, Coachella? This must be investigated. People are freaking stranded. Massive update. The bus driver just shared with us that all of the fuel stations for the buses, not cars, were completely depleted around the event, and they all had to drive 30 minutes away to get refueled. A few of the buses are stranded out on the roads right now with no gas. And also, there were apparently 60 buses employed for this event, and the fuel reserves were completely depleted or never refilled before the event. This has to be looked into." And then he goes, "Smells like sabotage." And then he posts some link to California Mayor blasts Trump ahead of planned rally. Well, the Trump campaign's responsible for the transport in the Trump events, and his various PACs are the one who facilitate that. Why would the mayor of Coachella have anything to do with this at all? But you see how quick they are to blame people for the suffering that Donald Trump inflicts on him. And speaking about the suffering, I mean, doing an event in Coachella earlier in the day, where it's 100 degrees in Coachella, you had people passing out in the heat right there. I mean, just take a look at the people passing out right there.
Medic, medic. That's what y'all kind of... Y'all don't deserve it, but y'all deserve it. Because y'all are the ones who wanted to support this constant liar, this charlatan thief, this rapist criminal. God, she looks so old. Like. I hate how I used to be a Trump fan. I hate how people can't separate the fandom from the person and his actions. This Trump has been a fucking criminal every step of the way.
As I mentioned at the outset of this video, Donald Trump has a history of doing this over and over again at his events. Remember back in October of 2020, right? We're October 2024 now. October 2020, remember these headlines? Hundreds of Trump supporters stuck on freezing cold Omaha airfield after rally. 7 taken to hospitals. Overall, 30 people were contacted for medical reasons. The Omaha Police Department said in a statement, here was the CNN headline, 100 stranded in the cold waiting for buses in chaotic post-Trump rally scene. Here's what went down in Omaha in October of 2020. Same type of scene right here. There it was freezing cold, though. Play this clip.
Foolish people.
So then in terms of what Donald Trump was talking about, even when he was going to Coachella, he was speaking to Californians and saying that he would not give California emergency federal aid if he were elected. He said that I'm going to force down Gavin Newsom's throat whatever the hell I want, and if he doesn't do what I want, I won't give the state of California emergency aid.
Yeah,
Gavin Newsom will respond to that. @Real Donald Trump shows us exactly who he is, threatening life-saving disaster aid to achieve his political goals. This man is sick. And so when you wonder, why are people dying? Donald Trump wants this to happen, and it permeates everything from stranding people at his rallies to how he treats people throughout his life. Remember how he treated people during COVID? Remember when he rounded up people and separated families? He doesn't care. And remember what he's also saying now, that when he's going to invoke the Alien Enemies Act, it's going to be a bloody affair when he rips families apart and sends the military on Americans. Here's what Donald Trump said, that he will force down Gavin Newsom's throat. Here, play this clip.
I will invoke the Alien Enemies Act of 1798 to target and dismantle every migrant criminal network operating on American soil.
I mean, that sounds good. If there were migrant criminal operations operating on American soil.
That's what we're going to, in honor of the people that have suffered in Aurora at the hands of this horrible gang, Operation Aurora. And if they come back into our country after, we're going to throw them out so far you wouldn't believe it. But if they come back into our country, it's an automatic 10 years in jail with no possibility of parole.
Okay, hold up.
And if that doesn't work, it'll be
10 years in jail, prison, whatever you want to call it. That is 3 square meals a day. At no cost to them. At extreme cost to the American taxpayers. But you want to lock up these migrants who are coming here looking for a better life. I mean, I mean, we have some of the worst prisons in the world. So I don't really feel like they'll be too up for that, but that's basically giving them citizenship through criminal incarceration. So that's a real good ideal, Trump. Real great,
20 years,
fantastic
and if that doesn't
idea.
work, I guess it's going to be the death penalty, right? The death penalty.
And at that same event,
I mean, the
Trump
death penalty
says
in
that
this
he's going
country
to
moves
rescue
at
California
a snail's
from
pace.
a current occupation that we're not under, because it's under occupation and an invasion, and it needs to be rescued.
We're not.
And he's going to help
We're not
conquer
under
it back.
an
Here, play this clip.
invasion.
We're going to liberate our country from criminals. How stupid are we? How stupid are these leaders? They're stupid people. I will rescue California and every town across America that's been invaded and conquered. And we.
As Democratic Congressmember Adam Schiff said, not a single town in California has been invaded or conquered by anyone. And as a twice impeached, 4 times indicted, convicted felon, the only advice you are truly competent to give on crime is how to commit it. Here in California, Donald Trump says that the biggest danger to America is Californians and the threats, the enemies from within, American citizens like Democratic Congressmember Adam Schiff. And then he goes on to praise the authoritarian leader of China, President Xi. Play this clip.
President Xi and myself, somebody said, what kind of a man is he? He's a...
Let's just pause for a second before he rants about Xi. He doesn't understand that most of the American Northwest, once upon a time, was Mexico. Most of Texas was Mexico. Even to this day, you still got a lot of Mexican heritage. But you also have people who understand that Mexicans are indigenous Americans, hence Native Americans, are American Indians, who belong here in this country. But Trump doesn't know or care about that part of history.
Fierce person. He is. He's a very smart guy. I hate to say brilliant because every time I call him brilliant, the press says, he said the president, well, he is a brilliant guy. Got 1.4 billion people. He rules it with an iron fist. And the press gets upset when I say he's a smart man. I would think he's a smart man, but actually, he's somebody that we can. The worst people are the enemies from within. The sleazebags, like a guy that you're going to elect to the Senate, Shifty Adam Schiff.
He means liberal, progressive, pro-democracy.
No, he's a major lowlife. And because of the fact that, they send millions and millions of ballots someplace, they send them all over the place. California, you don't have anything like a voting booth. They take ballots, they just send them all over the place. They come back and they say, oh, somebody won by 5 million votes. And it's so corrupt, so corrupt. But you're going to have Shifty Adam Schiff, one of the true, I know him well, because he conceived of the Russia hoax, right?
And then at that same event, Donald Trump struggles to say the word deflate. We're going to deflate. He can't even say the word defeat. Here, play this clip.
I will very quickly deflate. We are going to take inflation and we are going to deflate it. We are going to deflate inflation. We are going to defeat inflation. We're going to not.
Now contrast that to the message by people like Bryan Cranston voting for Vice President Kamala Harris and Governor Walz when he was speaking recently in Phoenix, Arizona. Play this clip.
I am not a politician. I am not a doctor or a lawyer, but I played all of those on television. But I am the father of a daughter. And it's important to me, for her life now and for the future and other fathers' daughters, to be able to have, within their lifetime, the fundamental right of freedom of choice. There should not be anyone but them deciding what happens to their own bodies. And that's why I'm enthusiastically supporting Vice President Harris and Governor Walsh.
And here's what Vice President Kamala Harris said recently on a tarmac when she was asked about Donald Trump's mental fitness and health. Play this clip.
I invite the public to watch his rallies and be the decision maker on his acuity. And you will see in his rallies how he goes off on tangents, how he is not focused on the needs of the American people with solutions to the issues that concern them the most.
A few moments later.
They want to do things like no more cows and no windows in buildings. They have some wonderful plans for this country.
Well, there you have it, folks. So at the end of the day, you see here clearly that Donald Trump just doesn't care. And he
he's wrongly assuming that Kamala,
but you see how quickly
because
his
he's
followers
Indian,
went
that she
trendy. We're
is
trying to come up in their
one of
minds
these
immediately with,
Indians
this is
who
some
don't
deep state
eat
thing. No, it
cows,
isn't.
who
It is your
worship
dear leader
cows.
who does this to you, who doesn't give a crap about you, who will continue to do stuff like this over and over again at a grander scale. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 4 million together. Thanks for watching.
Love this video? Make sure you stay up to date on the latest breaking news and all things Midas by signing up to the Midas Touch newsletter at MidasTouch.com/newsletter.
So yeah, that was from the Midas Touch. That was Ben Mysalis. I really dig the Mysalis family because they're so pro-democracy. It's one of these things that it's hard to be a conservative American in modern America. Post-MAGA, everyone just assumes that you're MAGA. But I couldn't be the furthest thing from MAGA. It's like, I'm a pro-marijuana conservative because I see the power and money it can bring. But that's neither here nor there. Do me a favor, hit that like button. And, you know, subscribe to this channel. Subscribe to the Midas Touch. Yeah, because they're definitely one of the... I mean, they're #1 in my top 20 pro-democracy channels on YouTube. But, yeah. So, yeah, if you're pro-democracy and you're anti-Trump, give me a like. If you're pro-marijuana education, give me a like. If you hate Trump, give me a like. That's all I'm going to ask for. But until next time, have a good week, day, month, year. Just peace.